Hello everybody, this is a grumpy old guy gaming, hoping you're doing well for this albeit delayed edition of the Weekend Warrior. Today is a very special day. If you've been checking out the Weird Happenings in the World series or been keeping up on the Fragment Resurgence Discord, any of the strange goings on between Numbers Man, aka Goddardammerung, the saga of the children of the Glutes, Siegfried, and all of these strange characters that seem to come and go in between, be it Maho, love, hate, the list goes on, but I'm sure not by many. Um, you would know by now that today, December 20th, 2020, is the day of redemption that they were talking about, and lo and behold, this morning there was a level 255 server put up, titled Redemption, with only one set of keywords, those keywords being Twilight of the Gods, and is leading to pretty much the ultimate event in .hack lore, the One Sin. The One Sin event was a legendary event in .hack lore cleared by the descendants of Fianna, Orca, and Balmung of the Azure Sea and Sky respectively. That's what gave them their titles and their legendary status in the world. The One Sin event, as it is found in Fragment, I believe is a rare spawn for high-level servers, and somebody was nice enough to put up a server with the exact keywords to go there. And so we are joining the action here. This is a recording of a run earlier today. I am playing my Blade Master as it's the highest level character, and I'm joined by Spooky and Dow. So thanks to them for joining us today. Um, little trepidatious about getting into this, especially at first. Snownami had done a run earlier. I'm going to link that run down below. He had almost soloed when I say almost, it got pretty dicey, and he ended up not being able to defeat the One Sin, but almost soloed it. So here we are banding together. Dow's character, I believe they said, was level 95. Spooky, I believe, was sitting at level 69, and I am just shy of 65 in this. I'm 64. So we've got a fairly high level group. I'm easily the weakest of the three, though. You can check the numbers out. I mean, just ridiculous stats going on there. Right now, we're just sort of chilling out, getting ready, forming the party. It took us a little while to get organized and everything, but there was excitement in the air, and certainly you don't get a chance to do a run like this every day. Kind of pumped here. I'm gonna cut away real quick here because it's just a whole bunch of talking and me bumping in and out between here and checking on Discord. So if you'll permit me one moment, I'll just skip ahead. Okay, so this wasn't quite to the point where we were ready to go yet, but the other day Spooky had showed me that you could actually moonwalk on here, and we're just still in the prep stages and in between first and second coffee. I had already done my GU stream this morning, so I was in that weird state of caffeinated but not, and I figured a good way to pass the time would be, try out this little trick that Spooky showed me the other day. And here I am moonwalking. It's not going to look like much because it's from my perspective. It's just going to look like first person walking backwards, which is how you do it. But I swear to you, that's exactly what I'm doing. Okay, next cut should bring us a little closer to the action. Okay, here we are running up to the Chaos Gate, and like I said, we're getting ready to go here, and Spooky hadn't checked out the keywords yet, so he's a little surprised to see it's literally only those keywords, nothing else. There is nowhere else this is going to take you. Now we are heading out. And there you see it, Twilight of the Gods. That's the keywords here, and it's going to take us to an empty snowy field really fitting for, the start of winter here as we're coming up. I believe tomorrow is the official start of winter, so we had a snowy end to fall, that's for sure. Even had some flurries this morning. Looking out, I thought I was going to have to shovel the walk, but it all sort of melted away shortly after sunrise, so lucked out there. And again, we're just kind of chilling, literally and figuratively as far as the game goes. Actually, pretty heavy snow coming down now that I look at it. It's a nice little aesthetic, and you see it's a glitched field. You've got the little, game code tearing through the terrain, strands of code in the background there. It makes for a really eerie thing. My wife just saw that type of field the other day when Spooky Emus and I were running the corrupted field on the Shining Darkness server, and she sort of geeked out at that, thought it was cool. Now the opening to this dungeon here is just a bunch of symbols, and if you look online, there are a number of one sin runs, especially from back in the day with the older versions. Check any number of those out. I think Pesty has one, I think Alkalime has one. I'm not sure who all has runs. At some point I really want to compile a list. Maybe get on that over the holidays here. But right now we're just kind of making our way down. As you can see, we're on the 3rd floor of the dungeon, and we have yet to experience anything. This is where things, are going to take a turn. We're going to take the stairs down to the 4th floor, and this is where the action starts. You can already see we've moved to a medium-sized corridor here. All buffed to heck and back. And here's our first portal. Not gonna lie, a little bit of trepidation here. See, we've got a Madam Niagara there, very high level water maiden. Can cast spells, runs as fast as all heck, and can put you to sleep, sort of like my commentary. So I am woefully unable to do much of anything there for a couple seconds, saved by the party. And we make it through that portal, all things considered, really, really well. Chest drops on the ground, and we continue to the next. It's a small T-shaped room, and we get all kinds of fun here. We get a Madam Niagara, get a high-level version of a Squilla Demon. I'm not sure exactly what the name on that is. Ah, there we go. A Hell Slicer, a fitting name. Looks like somebody popped a Knight's Bane on that to take out its physical tolerance, and we made short work of that there. The Banes, especially Knight's Bane and Beast Bane in high-level areas, very useful because a number of monsters will be flat-out immune to types of damage. And the last thing you would want, here we are, 2 Heavy Axe and a Blade Master. We run into something that's physically tolerant, it's a short night for us. No pun intended on night. Moving to another T-shaped room, we just sort of guessed as to what direction to go here. Here's a Dark Lord, and these guys in the Inferno line not only wreaking havoc with the Madam Niagara on the damage spells, but they can cause confusion. So you've got potential confusion, paralysis, sleep, and high amounts of spell damage coming, all from monsters that are moving quicker than us. This battle is absolute chaos, and you could see like the portraits going red at a moment's notice. I don't think one of us could say honestly that we didn't think we were goners, especially right there, Dow down to about 200 health. They just are able to keep the chain going, and we're just able to stay alive. I am virtually useless here. I finally get to do something, and most of the damage I did here was, friend and foe alike through confusion. Looks like Spooky tried to trigger an awakening there, and I am taking the old face first nap. Dark Lords for a moment were able to be drained, but I don't think any of us wanted to risk getting the potential experience loss of a data drain at this point. we're all amped up for the experience of the event itself. Here we're once again down to one, but Spooky is able to snap out of the confusion and get the revives flowing, so we're all back to full strength to finish off Madame Niagara. And then we all just take a moment to exhale and say, well, just to think that was the setup. When you're running something like this, you kind of hope it's not a waltz, but I could probably live a little longer with less experiences like that. Epic. Happy we made it through there, but rather frightening. Now, if you notice, down below us is a medium-sized corridor with a door down, but there's no room showing. And we kind of surmised that that's where the event was, and we had in fact taken the shortest route. So Dow double checking on something there. We're going to go through the door here. And inside this corridor we find everybody's favorite hacker, Helba. And Helba's there, and because I have yet to upgrade to the latest patch because I was a putz, was moving things around and accidentally trashed the ripped ISO from Fragment, and I haven't really burned a new one yet. That's all in Japanese. Hopefully there's a capture sometime today showing it in English. Actually, I think Snows might. I'll have to double check that here. So we're all getting ready to go. Spooky gets a message from Venus, who had just woke up, living out in Hawaii, when a very, very curious thing happens. Poor Dow's windows crashed, got disconnected there. And so we found ourselves literally staring at death's door when things got awkward. And that ended run 1 for us. So we end up regrouping back in town here. Dow ends up sorting out their computer issues, and while we're waiting here, I just happened to ask Spooky what V was saying, and it was some sound advice to us. It really was. She had passed on that we should stay spread apart so the dragon can't slay multiples of us, can't kill multiples of us at the same time, so we could just keep the resurrection train going. And that made a lot of sense, because looking at Snow's video and looking at the older videos, all of the dragon's attacks seem to be area of effect attacks. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense to spread out. There's a little bit of a logistical issue in the classes we chose, because again, 2 heavy axe and a blade master, we all kind of want to be up close and in the action there. But just a little bit of game planning and prep here while we were getting ready for Dow to get back in, so we can make attempt number 2 at the One Sin event here on this day of redemption. And again, this is me just spitballing about compiling all of the One Sin runs. I tend to get ideas in my head like that. I really need to write them down more and do them, because I'll say it and then it'll get sidetracked and I'll never get around to it. But hey, that's enough about me. Let's go ahead and skip ahead a little bit here to where we are all together and ready to go. So here we are back again, Dow saying, okay, let's do this, and we're all set for what is technically our second run, but officially still kind of our first due to the unfortunate situation. I will share a funny joke. My son really been sort of getting into the .hack stuff as I've been getting back into it and been sharing it with the missus. So he knows about the whole premise and people falling into comas and things, and for his age, he's a very bright boy. He sort of latches on to things exceptionally well. So when I had mentioned out loud that Dow had disconnected, I swear my son's first words were, "They're probably in a coma." Little bit of .hack humor there. Obviously, nobody, seriously hurt by this or anything. But I got a chuckle out of that and wanted to share that as part of this because it was part of the experience for me overall. Hopefully you got a chuckle out of that too. I don't know. Just the deadpan way he said it. One of those you had to be there sort of deals. Speaking of being there, here we are at the dungeon again. Gonna pop in here, and once again we have these little symbols just sort of chilling out waiting for us. I mean, we're just rolling in buffs, and you really need to be to face something this level. This weekend has kind of been checking off a lot of dream runs for me in this game. I got to do a corrupted area, which means I got to Hidden Forbidden Holy Ground online, which was amazing. And here we are going through the One Sin event, which in my wildest dreams in 2020 did not think I would be taking that down. So I gotta say, this, as far as early Christmas presents goes, about as good as it gets for me. So here we are. I pop a Fairy's Orb and we come into something really, really unusual. If the map looks like it's not the same as it was previous, well, that's because the map is not the same as it was previous. Apparently, this dungeon resets every time. So we're a little confused by this, but as you can see, this is actually a luckier break than we had last time. There, the room leading to nowhere is clearly visible, and there's only one portal standing between us and it. So we go check out this portal. It's Pair of Hell Slicer and Madame Niagara. The Maiden is dealt with really quickly there, and we just get to work with the Knight's Banes hacking down these Hell Slicers. Looked really good and organized here as a party, and it's over before you know it. Certainly not the easiest group of enemies to fight, and taken down like nothing. Now this time we're going to go into the Helba room, and Helba is not here because we've already spoken to her. She's already gone away. So there we are, just a little bit of game planning before we go in. And here it is, guys. Gonna go into the Lost Ground, and there's the dragon with its protected shield. You can see its little blade wings in the back are very much ethereal at this point, and it's got the data bug markings on it. It's just throwing out tons of damage. I want to say earth element there, and yeah, we get wiped right quick and in a hurry. So that's 0 for 2 for us on this, but only one official run. This was our third crack at it, after our first unsuccessful attempt at the dragon and the previous run, which literally crashed before our very eyes. Here we are going into the field Twilight of the Gods on the Valhalla server one more time. And when you decide to make such a reckless run 3 times in a row, well, it calls for something special. It calls for something momentous. It calls for something a little extra. And to me, there's nothing more extra. Apologize on this choppy footage. Don't know what's slowing me down on this at this point. But that little bit extra was just goofing off on a grunty. We're just gonna go ahead and skip ahead on this because it just isn't looking good at all. It is just choppy as heck on this. Let's go ahead and... oh, we're already there. So let's go in and see if it smooths out any here. I know it's a corrupted field, but it was literally the same recording I had done previous. So once again in here and just kinda getting all buff again. If at first you don't succeed, get more buff and carry on. That is the way. Moving down to the second floor. Now moving down into the fourth, and we're gonna head through the first room here. I like a putz. We'll forget to pop a fairy's orb here. We wind up in a longer T-shaped room. Couple health slicers. Looks like I got put to sleep, but not before trying a Knight's Bane. Seems to have taken. Either that or else somebody else tried a Knight's Bane and it took at the same time mine failed. But either way, we make short work of that guy. There I was definitely trying a Knight's Bane. It failed, so I tried again. That one took, but it was dead by the time I had got out of the animation. So hey, best laid plans, right? Pop a fairy's orb, and we could once again see the door to nowhere is actually pretty close to us. We have this short diagonal hallway, and then we have the hallway going in. And we're once again going to reiterate that we stay spread apart. I'm going to do my best here, my absolute damnedest, to stay apart from everyone, and I know I'm sort of the lowest level, so I'm just going to keep my distance, maybe try kiting this thing a little. You can see I'm taken down to critical on just the flick of a tail, and then it goes ahead and does its little thing. Rocks fall from the sky, and we are all dead once again. Folks, that's going to do it for this video. That's going to do it for this run. Thank you all for watching very much. This has been Grumpy Old Guy Gaming. Take care, and we'll see you in the next.